Well, hello from Gifford Woods State Park, Killington, Vermont. Wolf here. I'm on another camping adventure. This time is a little bit different. Not quite by myself here. It's not one of my lone wandering wolf adventures. I'm out here with my parents actually. Sunday, and today's Tuesday. Sunday was Father's Day. Monday was my mother's birthday. So I bring them out on a little bit of a trip to get them out of the house for a few days and have some fun out in the woods. So this is my setup over here. I got a simple tent set up because, well, I had to have passengers in the Wolfeneer, so I couldn't set up my whole camping setup inside like I would usually do. So I'm over here. It's a little soggy. It's why the wood's sitting up on the picnic table. I'm hoping the sun comes out and dries it off soon, but so far it's still sprinkling out. So I'm staying in the tent over here. Kind of a neat little setup. Inside here, I got my bed. No, I didn't make the bed. I got my bed set up in there and everything, so I'm good in there. And out over here, this cabin is where my parents are staying. So they can't really do the camping anymore, so I get them set up in a cabin. So I'm here, and tomorrow we're heading home. So yesterday I didn't record any video. I kind of took a day off from it and just took a nice drive with my parents. Now I'm gonna get up and get out for a little bit here, even despite the fact the rain still hasn't stopped yet. Still waiting for that to happen, but it's lightening up a bit, so hopefully soon. But do a walk and do a tour of the campground. So that's what we're gonna do now. So we'll start at the beginning of it and we'll go through it and we'll show you everything. So let's see what this campground looks like. I've been here once before. In fact, it was an adventure here with the Wolfeneer, because the night we were packing up to get ready to go home, the starter failed. So we actually had to have a flatbed come into the campground and tow my truck out of it. And I had to wait till the next afternoon there to get my truck back. So we had a late checkout that day. We were supposed to check out at 11. We ended up checking out closer to 1. But we let the campground host know right away, and they explained what the issue was, and it was no problem. So we took care of that. I got my truck back, got the starter going, and I was here having some brake problems, so I can't win. Every time I come back to this campground, something goes wrong with my truck. So be warned, there are some gremlins at this campground. His neighbor across the way there, his battery died on his truck, so he had to have it jump started. So there seem to be some gremlins against trucks at this campground, so if you do come here, be warned. But let's take a look through the campground and see what there is to see. So here we have the start of the campground here. This is the ranger station. This is where you check in. If you have troubles walking, good luck with the stairs. They have instructions if you're handicapped what you have to do here. Firewood for sale up in this spot. Typical Vermont fashion there. It's in slots. You just grab one slot, $6 per slot. And they have a way of paying for it if you come by after hours. It's kind of an on and on system. And this is the main way into the park. A bit of a winding road, and up here that's the actual nature trail. Lots and lots of different trails. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have enough time to hike all of them on this trip, so despite the problems I've had with my vehicles coming here, I'm definitely going to be coming back again. When, I don't know. I'll be making a return trip here at some point. Alright, this kind of noisy area here, this is the trail to Kent Pond. So, walk by here. It also happens to be part of the Appalachian Trail. And you can continue on into the campground from here. Alright, so this is the way in here. You get the lower camp area and the upper camp area. I'm actually in the lower camp area. So I'm going to head towards this direction first. Show you around this way. So there's your dumpster area. One for trash, one for recycling. It's kind of a mixed recycling, so you can put whatever you want in there. And unfortunately, they want you to take your propane cylinders home with you. This is their old recycling setup. They used to have it all sorted out to different slots. Maintenance area, wood storage, things like that. I'm not really sure what this is. I think this is where they dump in the ashes from the fire pit and stuff. You clean them out. There's like a compost pile. And your typical open campsite here. Fire pit and a fireplace. I love those fireplaces they have in some of these campsites. Nice little variety of sites. Like some of the other Vermont campgrounds there, they've got stumps at all the fire pits, or at least many of them. This one doesn't seem to have one. Oh, there's one. Okay. You can either sit at it or you can use it for splitting wood. One of the mini cabins. They got lots of lean-tos here too. I love the lean-tos, but because I'm with my parents this time, I didn't grab one because I wanted to keep grab a site close to where they are. And all the cabins have animal names on them. One's bear. One my parents are staying in is coyote. And lean-tos have tree names, like hickory. There's where I'm camped, site 21. Over here's the cabin where my parents are. I'll try to get you some inside footage before we leave, and you can see what these cabins look like inside. Alright, continuing on from where my parents stayed, you got Whitetail at the cabin. I probably should have taken that rather than the campsite. And there's the entrance to Kent Brook Trail. I actually stayed last time I was up here, on the time my truck starter failed. I was staying in that lean-to. I would have gone back there if that was available, but somebody else had it. I have a nice variety of lean-tos here. Aspen, and that looks pretty good too. Aspen, willow, lots of nice lean-tos here. If your RV is your dumping station, you can fill up with some fresh water, clean things out. Actually, that's the fresh water, that's the drinking water, that's the cleaning water. And you dump. I use that for my gray water tank. The lean-to, one of the handicapped accessible ones. And here you got the bathhouse. Nice clean facilities here with showers, coin operated showers, but showers. And down this way you get a few more sites here. A cute little one here, you park down there and set up there. Too bad my site doesn't have one of those fireplaces. I love those things. And several more lean-tos along here too. A little too close to the road though. Okay, now we're going to move on to the upper camp area and picnic area. I'm not sure if I've ever been up here before. It's been a few years since the last time I stayed here. I don't remember if I actually explored the upper camp area or not. I don't remember. This is the picnic area right here. Nice little playground, volleyball or badminton, I'm not quite sure. Not sure what this little stone structure here is for. Yeah, no idea. This thing, put a picnic table under it and keeps the table dry, I don't know. Another fireplace over here. That's a nice one, I like that one. Why couldn't this be in my campsite? It looks like we got the start of one of the trail systems over here. Shelburne Trails West. Gifford Woods State Park Trailhead. Oh yes, there's plenty of hiking to do here. Definitely like to find some more time to spend up here. Some solo camping time might be good. Explore some of these trails here. There's a lot to explore too. This appears just to be like a private driveway for sites 1 and 2. If you're 2 campers and you need to have 2 separate sites but you want to be near each other, this is a perfect spot for you. Grab sites 1 and 2. Plenty of room for everybody here. Site 1 is nice and back from the road too. I like it. Good setup. Yeah, they got some nice little sites here though. That's campsite number 3 there. The upper loop actually seems to be a little quieter than the lower loop. Maybe less people up here. I'm going to keep that in mind for future visits. Site 4 isn't too bad either. Nice big site. Not good if you're looking for solar panels though. Here's site 5. Pretty quiet looking site. Lean-to apple looks like it might be a really good choice. It's set back from the road quite a ways. Looks like it's offers some privacy. Spruce isn't too bad either. The apple looks real nice. I don't know if anybody's down there or not, so I'm not going to go exploring into it. And over here you got birch. Birch isn't bad either. Offers some privacy. And over here we got the bathhouses for the upper campground. And standard fare facilities, no showers on these ones. I think the showers are only down at the lower site. So if you need a shower, you want to go down to the lower site. And yes, do remember, keep your food safe from bears. They are here. Ranger actually came by today warning us that the bear has been sighted in the site here today, so telling everybody to be careful. Brings us to the end of the loop here, and then back down to the lower camp. So I think if I come back here again, I'm going to stay at the upper loop, especially if I do a solo adventure. No cabins up there, so if my parents want to come along, they're going to have to stay down in the lower area. But the upper loop is much quieter. So I think that's going to be a future adventure for me. One more tidbit to throw in there. I just talked to somebody who's doing the Appalachian Trail. He's been hiking on it since Georgia. He's almost there. Yep, we're definitely right on the Appalachian Trail, so very good. Remember at the beginning of the video I said I was having brake problems? Well, let's just say things didn't go as well as I had hoped. I thought I had a sticking caliper in the front, and instead of stopping at the shop in Killington where I had my starter replaced, I thought I could carefully get myself home. That wasn't a good idea. The problem continued to get worse until the point I had to pull off the highway. Turned out that the caliper wasn't sticking, it was loose. One of the bolts had fallen out, and the caliper was rubbing against the inside of my rim. This really could have ended in disaster. So this was the second time I visited Gifford Woods, and the second time I needed AAA to get me home. But I do want to give a special shout out to Montshire Automotive in West Lebanon, New Hampshire. Once they got the truck off the flatbed, they had the bolt ready to install, and did it right there in the parking lot. I was back on the road quickly, and for a very reasonable price, to be honest. Most expensive bolt I ever bought, but it was still a reasonable price. So anyway, thanks guys, I do appreciate it. Even when these sorts of things happen, you do still have to remember to slow down and enjoy life. So thanks for watching, everybody. Thank goodness for editing. Come on, Zipper.